think this, if he wins this match against Kaynan, that would be the breakout moment that he's been grinding for, because everybody respects him. Everybody knows that he's one of those tough guys, but he's yet to hit the upper echelons of the jiu-jitsu world.
Look at this beautiful passing position from Kaynan. He has a really deep underhook on his right side, but Dimitrius does have that really, really strong grip here with his left hand, keeping Kaynan from moving forward. But Kaynan is such an experienced high-level competitor. He's not going to rush through it. He's not going to go crazy trying to kick his leg out. He's going to stay heavy. He's going to take his time because he knows that a near pass is coming.
I like that pan grip from Souza. It's saving him, but that underhook from Kaynan is so strong.
Yeah, he's committed there. He's committed to that underhook. You can see.
This is better now, because Dimitrius is kind of moving more into single leg X territory. He's managed to make space. Kaynan's backed out and away, and Dimitrius has kept hold of that pan grip throughout.
Kaynan has a way of making grip breaking look effortless. Pops those really, I mean, these guys are heavyweights. They're very, very strong. Popping those grips off, you can hear it. It's super loud, and more impressive than anything, when he pops those grips off, he usually gets right into some crazy passing. And if you can start those passing sequences off as soon as the grip breaks are in play, then your opponent is absolutely immediately on the defense. They're not getting any of their offense going, and that really can change the pace of things.
Duarte, as we mentioned, 2021 world champion, so that put him the #1 seed in this division, and I don't think that was a surprise.
Dimitrius is actually the #2, but he
that's because he was the pan champion.
Yes,
Dimitrius took gold, closing out with Mateus Diniz at the pan, so Pans is one of the major IBJJF tournaments. It's one of the highest scoring in terms of the season, so.
We actually had a pretty big upset in the quarterfinals. Adam Wardzinski went down to Pedro Enrique Pinheiro, who is...
Pedro Machado.
Sorry, yes, so many names. Dimitrius Souza beat in the semis this morning to make it to this final with Kaynan.
Yeah, Souza is one of those guys, as we said, he's very durable. You rarely see him get tapped or getting really beaten up. To beat him, it's usually hard work. He's one of those guys that beating him is not easy. And Kaynan's definitely the favorite to win this division. He came in when the names were announced and you saw the lineup of the athletes for the heavyweight division. Everybody's like, okay, Kaynan's a returning champion. He's coming back to defend his title. But there was a question mark as to who would make it out of the other side of the brackets and into the final against Kaynan. And Dimitrius Souza had to fight his way through a pretty tough pack, as you mentioned, a semi-final against Pedro Machado. A win before that against Harrison Pereira, who, incidentally, took out the legend Shanji Ribeiro in his opening round match.
Yeah,
before that, Dimitrius Souza had to beat Mateus Godoy, a very tough, again, a very underrated, but very, very tough representative from Gracie Barra. So,
interesting grips here from Kaynan. He keeps switching between a pant grip and an ankle grip, and he typically has 1 and 1. So he would go one ankle and one pant, and then he would kind of switch and go to the other side. I'm not even sure if that was intentional or if it's just what he could grab as soon as he could grab it. But you do not want to have any kind of loose passing position with Kaynan Duarte. If he has your pant grip, if he has your ankle, he's very well known for coming up with come-up sweeps with that pant grip and then using it to continue to pass. It's a very comfortable position for him. But Dimitrius Souza with a pant grip on his own on his left side. Now, that makes any pass very, very difficult until you can break that off. And as I say that, he uses that to elevate Kaynan's right leg. Kaynan able to kind of dig this through. This is exactly where we were about in the first 30 seconds of the match. So same position here, kind of digging a right underhook nice and deep, but this time has a bit better of a grip with his left hand on the elbow almost. Is identical to the very beginning of the match. Kaynan using his left leg as opposed to keep driving into Souza so he doesn't start to give up any kind of sweep potential here. But Souza's left hand keeping a strong grip on that pant leg is keeping him safe from the pass. Now we see a little bit closer of a position for Kaynan. He is going to come into a head and arm control and a very heavy half guard here for Kaynan Duarte.
Yeah, this is a great position. Look at that underhook and crossface. Really strong chest-to-chest contact, both shoulders flat on the mat, and there was a bump from Dimitrius Souza, and that's a nice recovery back to the open guard. But Kaynan I feel like he's getting closer to securing that top position each time.
Yeah, one thing about Kaynan, we talked about this throughout the tournament, is there are athletes who kind of start at the same pace and continue the same pace. We see that from Kaynan sometimes, but a lot of time we also see him kind of start and then rev up throughout the match. So he kind of he's a very fast learner. He feels what his opponent is doing. He makes adjustments. He gets closer and closer as the match continues, and then we see him usually finish in dominant fashion. So very impressive acclimation skills here.
Duarte's so comfortable. Just, oh, look at this big stack pass. He's got the hand on the hips, lifting Souza almost entirely off the mat in the process.
Yeah, very smart work by Souza to bring his left leg back inside. And now into a De La Riva hook with the left. And big posture from Kaynan. Yeah, a lot of pressure to be under here from Kaynan Duarte. He's kind of riding the wave that is Dimitrius Souza right now. What I mean by that is he's not necessarily forcing his way through the guard. He's not forcing the knees to be smashed together. He's changing grips based on Dimitrius' movement. He's staying safe. And Dimitrius having to carry this weight and make adjustments to stay safe is exhausting, right? So as the clock runs down and Kaynan's in the lead, it only gets better for Kaynan.
I feel like this is bad news for Dimitrius here. He's got that lapel grip, but look at this. Kaynan
shifts
around onto the back. Looked like almost a smash pass position. He was covering that top leg. He doesn't have any hooks, but he does have a grip around the upper body. Very deep, it's almost like a seatbelt, but...
Look at how that lapel grip saved Dimitrius through every part of that transition. I kept wanting to say, oh, he's doing, and then I'm like, well, that lapel is still there, not totally out of danger. We see Galvao calling for an advantage. Nothing has been awarded yet.
Yeah, I gotta say, that was a near back attack from Duarte, and okay, no hooks in, but that was his chest was right on the middle of Dimitrius Souza's back. He was all the way around. Yeah,
that's as close as you can get to the back without the hooks, right?
Okay, interesting now. High stepping around off to the side. I'm liking the pressure that Kaynan Duarte is putting on. He's not letting Dimitrius Souza rest too much. When he backs out, he takes a quick look and then he's straight back in. And he's testing Dimitrius Souza's guard in various ways. He's going around to both sides. He's going through. He's going underneath. He's trying to find a way around. But everywhere he goes, Dimitrius so far has got an answer.
Yeah, I really like these pant grips. Again, back to how we were saying before, he has a pant grip and an ankle grip. He normally does not have two of the same. He goes pant and ankle. Look how he takes his time to really solidify that pant grip, readjust it. That is so powerful. We see him finish his passes a lot with grips just like that. He can use that hand to throw it to the side.
Can you believe that with 2 minutes left in this match, and there's still only one advantage on the board?
Yeah, this has got to be an advantage. There we go. Another advantage on the board. Now we're in a cradle position. This is not something that we see very often here, especially in the Black Belt World Finals of Jiu-Jitsu. This is typically what we see in wrestling. He has the head compressed to the knee, both hands locked together. Now he can use this to dump Dimitrius over towards his head. He can use it to dump him towards us. He can also switch off to simply just attacking the head and go for some front headlocks here.
I am intrigued to see what Kaynan does from here because, the cradle is not a particularly common position in Jiu-Jitsu. It's not to say that you can't utilize it, but what would you do here, Kendall?
Yeah, I think Kaynan's playing it smart here because either way you dump him, you're going to find Dimitrius' left leg still available to play guard, right? So it's kind of a tricky situation. So instead, especially with that right hand grip Dimitrius has holding on to the knee. So instead, being patient, I think potentially switching to a front headlock grip and doing a big snap and kind of sprawling back to get Dimitrius onto all fours would be a good option. But with Kaynan, there's no rush. There's 40 seconds left. He's up 2 advantages. So making him tired here might be the right move. We're going to see a reset here with 30 seconds. And again, I do think that strategy kind of burned about 30 seconds there in that cradle position. Exhausted Dimitrius a little bit, and now we have 30 seconds to ride out this 2 advantage win, especially starting an open guard. Dimitrius will have to put a 2-point sweep on the board to win, minimum. So back up to his feet. So now we could be changing strategy into a takedown battle here. Dimitrius could be looking for a shot or a throw and pulls right back into...
Oof, I'm not sure that's the best idea with 20 seconds remaining on the clock. He wasn't able to do anything to Kaynan Duarte for the preceding 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Not sure how he thinks that he'd be able to score on him in the final 20, but pulls the guard, he does. And Kaynan just has to stay here and he'll collect his second IBJJF World Championship gold medal in as many tournaments.
The reigning heavyweight world champion does it again. It was his bracket to win, and he did it. 2 advantages over Dimitrius.
Kaynan Duarte really is one of the very best in the world, and just proves it once again here at the IBJJF World Championships with a very solid run through the very tough heavyweight division. The narrowest of margins in beating